But the former industrial town of Minnesota is coming to terms with its status as a refuge for people moving across the country because of climate change.
Climate proof?
I don't know. I don't know about their little climate change up there. I don't really notice much. I saw a lot of smokestacks when I came over the hill down into the valley.
I guess I don't know why somebody would move there for climate, but
that's a tough city. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
But my goodness, that's a tough one to navigate. I mean, for probably 9 months of the year.
I was up there fishing last spring, doing some lake trout fishing. And it was interesting listening to the captains and a couple guys that were with us from Duluth, how they were complaining about how they don't think things are very perfect up there either. And now all of a sudden Duluth has, all kinds of, homeless people up there now. And I'm like, if I was homeless, the last place I would move is Duluth, Minnesota. Yeah. It's 50 degrees for the high in the summer. Yeah. I mean, it's not like it's a pleasant, warm place. That lake effect really affects that city. You get used to it, but I mean, love the city to visit, love to support them. I don't know. It's just weird. It's a lot of weird information.
Anytime you're around an ocean, I mean, it can flip on you pretty quick. I remember I was in San Francisco and I was watching a game, and it was from, t-shirt to parka to hat on to back to a t-shirt on. I mean, just depending on how the wind turned, and I don't know what they're doing because it's definitely not climate proof. I'll tell you that.
No, it was saying the climate isn't as affected as much, and there's a lot of surfers coming up there because they just use a wetsuit, and the waves are just as good as they find them in California, supposedly.
Have you guys ever wandered out into the lake?
Oh my gosh, it's like an ice cube.
The second you put your foot in there, it gets numb. You question what's happening, and it's so cold all the time.
Have fun surfing. I do like it for 3 months.
Yeah. Well, fishing is fun. If you've never gone, I highly recommend you go up there and go fishing. I mean, you're trolling around these big lures and these big boats, and you're catching these, 20, 30-pound fish. It's fantastic. We wanted to catch a salmon, but I guess they're not as common up in the time of year we were fishing. But, that nothing better than a good salmon.
I hadn't dealt with Duluth from a real estate perspective in a long time. Onesie, twosie every 5-10 years. And I think last year we had 2 that were moving there and 1 coming from there. I hadn't dealt with that for a long time. So
you get Hermantown and Cloquet and all those areas up there are booming. It's not just necessarily Duluth, with the university right there. It's the surrounding suburbs that are growing and building houses. And
I got some cool social media reacts that I really need to hear your guys' thoughts on. But first, it's going to be brought to you by a new Chris Rooney Home Experts listing.
Dream.
That backyard is sweet, Andy. Right now,
I was gonna say
they built a freaking igloo in it over the winter, and it was super cool. I mean, they literally had candles inside. You could actually stand inside.
Parents, instead of kicking your kids out at 18, keep them home until they're 25 and charge them $250 per month for rent. When they turn 25, give that money back to them. That would be almost $21,000. Then they can use that as a down payment for their future home. Trust me, your kids will thank you.
Actually, there is something to say about that.